it really wasn't kids that really would say the worst things. It was adults when we were kids, and they would ask you these weird questions or just make you feel so strange. And I would be in places like church where I would get asked the weirdest questions like, oh, your dad's not your dad. Is your brother your brother? I'm a kid. Like, what are you talking about? So I just feel like that made me shut down. It wasn't so much getting made fun of or anything like that. Kids have that youthful energy where they might ask a question and then just go play. But the adults were the ones that made me feel weird about it. And so I learned to never speak on it ever because I did not want to feel different. And I do believe that if I had other youth that I could have connected with where we could ask the question what we want, we still would have played as kids, but once in a while you might want to say, ask a question or just feel like you're not so much different than your peers. That would have been really helpful.
I think about having maybe, little Christian, little Annie, little April in like a matrix as kids. It might have been to the moon and back, right? We would have been like just more settled in our life. And to your point, which is why also it's so important to listen to our voices, right? As those at the center of this experience of adoption. Parents are important and critical. And I do believe that a lot of parents do their absolute best in this experience of parents, and that there are ways that it could be better. And a lot of times professionals need to help drive that as well. But, we have the ability to be in relationship now and think about, all the things that could have been different. But the big headline for me is often like, adults, man, need to do better. Like adults that are in the world, right? So what can be done about that? Like, what are your thoughts on helping grownups who may not have a connection to adoption sort of resist the urge to dig too deep, especially when it comes to kids and asking invasive questions?
My little cousin lived with us. My mother raised him, and she was also fostering two young boys who they all went to the same school. And I had to pick up the two younger ones one day. And while I got one and I was tying his shoes in the office, the other one was on his way. And when he got there, the administrator looked from behind the desk and she goes, "Oh, you're picking up both of them?" And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "Hey, Mikey, how do you know him? And how are you guys related?" And my mother's foster son looked over and he started stammering and he got really, really nervous. So I said, "Hey guys, go stand in the hallway for a second." And I walked up to her and I said, "Hey, not that this is any of your business, but he's a foster and my mother has adopted my cousin. But you asking those questions to children is really inappropriate and you made them very uncomfortable. So moving forward, I need you to not ask children questions like that because one, they may not know the situation or comprehend it fully, and you're making them feel alienated. And it's not my personality to speak up most of the time. But in that moment, I'm like, I wish I had someone to do that for me in all my uncomfortable situations. So I felt like as an adult now, it's our responsibility to check the adults who are doing the really inappropriate question asking and picking into people's business. It's just really inappropriate.